Director of Growth for EXP, and I'm joined by the amazing, the incredible, the awesome Amanda Whitespeare. The incredibly and awesome pregnant Amanda Whitespeare, right? Congratulations. And Nicole's pregnant. Listen, y'all stay away from my wife, wherever she's at. Stay away from her. We don't need any of that. But it's awesome. It's amazing to be a mom. I have the honor of being a dad. And it's cool being a dad, right? Because we got jokes. Dad's got jokes. Who wants to hear a joke? Anyone want to hear a joke?
No, are y'all ready?
All right. So I heard an incredible real estate dad joke. Knocked me off my feet. I know y'all are going to love it. It's going to be hilarious. Watch this. So Amanda, what kind of outfit does a house wear? A dress. A dress. Yeah, I know, it's hilarious, right? You didn't laugh.
We'll be here all night, guys.
That's not funny. Well, I know you heard the one about the roof, right? That's even funny. You heard the one about the roof?
Let's hear it.
It must have went over your head. Oh yes! Come on, I got $1 million. Okay, one more, right?
This one's gonna be good, right?
This next one good. Okay, because we got Thanksgiving next week, right? So, and I see Lindsay Holland in the house too, right? So we love farm and ranch agents, right? What do farm and ranch agents have to be thankful for this year?
Oh yeah.
Lots. Come on. Nobody, really? Nobody. All right.
You know what? Everyone.
All right, so as you can plainly tell, Amanda and I have not come to entertain you today, obviously, right? But what we have come to do is to celebrate you. Celebrate, educate, and inspire you, not only on what we've done this past year in 2023, but what's coming up in 2024. That's the reason why we're here, and that said, let's jump into it. We would not be here if not for a few other people, obviously. Number one, our sponsors, right? Give it up for our sponsors that are over there. We are going to be hearing a lot more from them later as they come up. However, there's some people that put this incredible event on, right? So yes, Amanda and I are up here, and we're kind of like the puppets, but the marionettes, like behind the scenes, that put all this thing together. Go ahead and stand up. They're all up here, up front for the most part. Stand up. Come on, don't be shy. So a couple things, right? So, and are we calling them out by name? I can't even read that. So, all right, their names are all up there. The awesome people that put this together: Bettina and Noe and Daniel, and there we go. See, there we go. Right, all the fabulous folks that put this thing together. Thank you all so incredibly much. The chief thing to remember as well, if you want to be a part of this next year, I know the one thing that they asked us to mention is that they need help with this for next year. So, see one of those people that stood up if you're interested in being involved and putting on an incredible event like this next year, because there is so much more to come. Now, before we get into the celebration, before we get into all this hype, all of the incredible stuff that y'all have been doing, we do have some housekeeping notes. Amanda, housekeeping stuff. We got some boxes to check. You run through that, please.
Boxes. I'm so incredibly excited to be here with you, one and only Tony King. Thank you, EXP Rockstars, for coming and for inviting your guests. So if you have a guest that invited you, say thank you. Can you hear me?
You're going in and out.
In and out. Can you hear me?
Maybe stand over there. What do you say?
So we have, as you can see, coffee and water over here, and then we are going to have lunch at.
You gotta hold the button.
I'll just yell at you.
You can just yell. No, it should be on.
So I'm pregnant, so I care about food and potty breaks, right? Lunch is at 12, and we're not going to have any official potty breaks, but if the restrooms are right out here, so if y'all need a phone call, I know we're realtors or whatever, just sneak out quietly and get that. We're going to have a mixer, a fun happy hour here, right next door, right after here, so you don't have to travel. There's a handy-dandy QR code that you'll see. This is going to give you access to ask us any questions that you have. So scan the QR code. We're going to have a really cool panel that Tony's going to moderate. You can interview icons. Dave Conord's going to be on there.
Yep.
So any really cool questions that you have, scan that, upload anything. That way, even if you're shy, you'll get your question answered.
Because I know none of y'all are shy, right? Everybody wants to stand up and ask their question loud and proud. But just in case you're shy, scan that, put your question in there, and we're going to have a panel with brokers. We're going to have icons. We're going to have corporate. We're going to have Brian. We're going to have lots of people up here, and I might answer some questions too.
I'm excited.
So scan
Maybe
your
they'll
question.
talk. I'll be on there. Okay, so this is a really important one. So icons, betas, and alphas. You are all here to learn and get celebrated, but you're also here for those handy dandy points.
The
We want to make
shmoney.
sure you get them, right? So please make sure you complete the paper that you were given. If you were not given a piece of paper, raise your hand and Brittany will give you one. This is for the icons, betas, and alphas.
Who likes stock awards? Yeah.
All right.
There we go, yes.
We have a few rock stars with their hands up. So and make sure you get checked in person so you can make sure to get your credit. And then first and foremost, all of you rock stars are taking pictures and videos. We're going to use hashtag EXPRally2023. Use that so we can dominate social media. EXPRally2023.
So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Y'all ready to hear from some awesome icons? Yeah! Yeah!
These amazing humans traveled from all over to be here in North Texas, and Frisco is gorgeous, y'all. I haven't been here in like 25 years. It is new and shiny and fancy. We're so lucky to be able to be in this venue. So our first person we get to introduce, Miss Beth, two-time icon agent from St. Pete, Florida. She's a long-time native Long Island, New Yorker. She started her career in 2008, and she's so excited. She excelled in new construction, and then she became a standout REO agent in Baltimore. In 2018, Beth moved the business to pristine Gulf beaches of St. Petersburg, Florida, which is beautiful if y'all haven't seen it. And she really got immersed in the short-term rental acquisitions. Teaching realtors how to succeed in the niche real estate space is something Beth is extraordinarily passionate about. She was named eXp Realty's 2022 Instructor of the Year. Shout out to Beth. She's always finding ways to give back to us. I just love her. She's a two-time icon agent who believes with the right guidance and support, monumental success is always within reach. When Beth is not busy with her own investment portfolio, you can find her enjoying a cigar and soaking up the sun in St. Pete. Give it up for Beth.
All right. It's crazy to be speaker number one, especially because I'm going to try to teach a lesson in, I don't know, about 20 minutes. So here we go. Increase your business with real estate investors. Clearly, ChatGPT did not help me write that title. Maybe we should, I move around a lot, so I'm going to slide that this way. In the next 15 or 20 minutes, I'm really going to try to teach you guys how to do just that. My name is Beth Silverman. I'm a residential investment specialist, and I would love to stand up here and waste 15 minutes talking about my accolades and how many doors I've helped people acquire. But that's not going to help your business, and that's not going to help your bank account, is it? So let's get right to it. Whether you are an early career agent, a capper, an icon, or a team lead, you are in control of how much business you do every single year, not the market. It is up to you to create opportunities that people can say yes to. If you create an opportunity, you don't need the client. Let me say that again. You don't need a client if you have an opportunity. Wait, what? I mean, if I'm going to help somebody list a house, I need a seller. And if I'm going to help somebody buy a house, I need a buyer and a seller. Those are clients. In order to get clients, I need leads. In order to get leads, I need to do lead gen. And that's how that hamster wheel spins, right? But when the market shifted, did you shift your lead gen strategy? Should you be going after different things? Because while you guys spend 2 hours a day doing the lead gen activities that I know you're all doing consistently, I'm going to spend those same 2 hours creating opportunities that people can say yes to. And by doing that, I'm going to increase my business every single year, regardless of market conditions. And I want to teach you how to do the exact same thing by creating an opportunity for people to say yes to help them invest in real estate. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need to niche down. I'm not here to convince any of you guys to become an investment specialist. No. I'm here because there are early career agents who need to understand how to have a strong command of the MLS, how to understand pricing, hyperlocal market statistics, and a broader sense of the economy so that they can set their business off on the right foot, so they can stay on top. I'm here for the consistent cappers who are desperately trying to reach icon. And if they had just a few more units before their calendar year reset, they'd hit that milestone they are desperately trying to achieve. I'm here for the team leads. You know who you are. You guys have had to go back into production this year, dig deep to remain profitable in this very challenging market. But mostly, I'm here because somebody in this audience is in massive debt, and they're scared, and they're hungry for a way out. And I want you to know that I have been all of these things. I believe everyone needs an expert advisor. That is you. I believe there are real estate investments based on the current cycle of the market and economy, when purchased strategically, yield the highest returns. So let's unpack that. If you were my client in 2012, we bought foreclosures and fix and flips. In 2014, we pivoted into Section 8 and voucher housing. Then we burrowed our way into multifamily. If you were my client in 2018, we bought every short-term rental imaginable. If you were my client in 2022, we entered the shared housing space and we purchased pad splits like they're going out of style. We put 154 units on the platform this year. If you're my client in 3 years, I'll be doing short sales. See me in 5 years, I'll be back in foreclosures. Newsflash, it's just a cycle. And if you figure out how to stay ahead of the trend, you, your clients, and your business will stay on top. I believe the key to financial freedom is the ability to control your time. What do you need to control your time?
Say no.
Say rev share. What do your clients need to control their time? They need the ability to generate passive income, right? And we can do that by investing in real estate. So when you think about a real estate investor, what comes to mind? Now, I am definitely going to take a stab at it because I've been doing this for a long time. Guys who run you ragged, searching for deals and analyzing them till the cows come home. And they only want you to present the ones with the most unattainable returns. You know, the ones they fall from unicorns in a bag of glitter. And when you find it, because you will, they want you to write a lowball offer. And these guys have no loyalty and no exclusivity to you whatsoever. Am I close? My career changed the day that I realized a real estate investor is anyone who desires to use the housing market as the vehicle with which to generate passive income, build generational wealth, and reap massive tax benefits. Let's say it again. A real estate investor is anyone who utilizes the housing market as the vehicle with which to generate passive income, build generational wealth, and reap bountiful tax benefits. Keyword in that sentence is anyone. You know, the majority of my investor clients are physicians, realtors, and my past clients, my past residential clients. So let's create an opportunity for your past residential clients to say yes. Raise your hand. First of all, let me ask the question first. I know the question. Raise your hand if you helped a buyer buy a house from January of 2016 till about December of 2021. If you have helped a buyer buy a house, really wave it around if you helped a lot of buyers. I'm gonna need to see some hands, although now we know who all the new agents are. Yep. Keep your hands in the air if you have stayed in touch with those buyers through all of these years. I know. I have left millions and millions of dollars on the table. I didn't send them any pumpkins, and I didn't deliver them any pie. And I didn't remind them to change their HVAC filter. and I didn't tell them about their tax exemptions, why are they ever going to talk to me ever again? Because now you've got something better than pumpkin and sweeter than pie. Now you've got an opportunity they can say yes to. You see, those buyers that you helped and then abandoned, those buyers are sitting on a lot of equity. The average is $149,000 to $249,000. Equity is the difference between what the home is worth and what they owe. And a lender, I am sure you icon agents out here have lenders calling you every single day to get your business in this market. Those lenders can help those buyers get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, generally given at 75 to 80% LTV, loan to value. So if you have $100,000 in equity, you get a $75,000 loan. With me? Great. We're then going to take that money and we're going to help them buy an income property. But now, before you say, Beth, they can't afford an income property, relax. We're going to use something called a debt service credit ratio loan, a DSCR loan. You do not qualify for the loan based on your income. You qualify for the loan based on the income of the house. So if the debt can be repaid by the cash flow, you get the loan. Imagine that. So let me get this straight. We're going to call our clients, tell them they have equity, partner them with a lender. We're going to use a HELOC. We're going to take that money and we're going to help them buy a property that's going to pay for itself. It's going to pay a small salary, cash flow. It is going to reap tax benefits, 1031 exchanges, write-offs, depreciation, cost segregation studies. There's going to be a long-term equity play with which to leverage to scale to a portfolio of houses that's going to allow us to retire and ride off into the sunset. If you can help one person do this, you can help many. If you can help many, you will have more commission. If I have more commission, I'll become an icon. If I have more commission, I'll get out of debt. If I have more commission, fill in the blank for yourself. But promise me this. If I have more commission, I will become a real estate investor. Because there comes a point in your life where you have to stop helping everyone else and get in the game. So what do we need to do this successfully? I thought you'd never ask. You must possess the ability to do 4 things. Procure the property. And to do this, you've got to have a strong command of both off and on market properties. I live and breathe on the MLS. I look at around 100 properties per day, and I scout around 5 to 35 properties per week. You must tour and scout properties consistently. And it's not based on how many clients I have. It's based on how many opportunities I want to create for people to say yes to. You need the ability to analyze the property. You have to understand prices, and guess what? You're going to have to understand some math. Do not freak out. Not my strong suit, but yet I'm pretty good at what I do. Google taught me everything I needed to know. You need the ability to pitch the property, right? We got to talk about it. Social media, email, direct mail, phone call, text, Skywriter. When you have the opportunity and you pitch it, the people will come. And I promise you, the people have the money. And my favorite, you need the ability to position the property after the sale. You see, marginal agents, they take you from start to sold. An exceptional agent, they take you from purchase to profits. And I do this because I teach my clients to become effective operators, regardless of what state they live in, because 95% of them do not live in my state. And I do this by partnering them with my exclusive vendor tribe. How's that vendor list you made on Canva performing for you? You know the one, you give it out like Halloween candy. If you want to cheapen something, make it common. No one has access to my vendor list. They don't know who my GCs are, my property managers, not the lady who does our wallpaper and our Airbnbs, not our cleaners. Not until the exact moment in or after the transaction do they get the introduction that they need. Why? Because this ties the client to me. My clients know that I am the one-stop shop for a positive passive income experience. And because of that one-stop shop, my clients transact with me an average of 3 times per calendar year. You don't need 2,500 leads in a database. You don't need 250 people in your sphere. Last year, 14 investors transacted 41 times with me for over $500,000 in GCI. And noteworthy to mention, thank you to EXP, my transaction fees are really high. You see, because specialists, we make special money, but I'm not here to convince you. Do I sell houses to traditional sellers? Of course I do. Do I help regular buyers buy houses? Hell yeah, that's just a long-term investment. So if you have buyers who cannot get in to the property that they want to purchase right now, normalize helping them buy an income property first. Even if it's out of state, better to get a referral than nothing at all. If you have sellers who are downsizing, talk to them about an investment strategy. Create an opportunity that they can say yes to. So how do you begin to learn more? Because clearly I cannot teach you this in just 10 minutes. So you have to commit to maybe reading a book or two about real estate investing. I like Cash Flow Quadrant. You need to learn about the types of real estate investments that exist. Short-term rental, long-term rental, mid-term rental, fix and flip, buy and hold, REIT, syndicate, land banking, commercial, right? There's tons of real estate investments that exist. But think about, where do you live and who do I serve? I mean, I'd like to think if I were in Texas, I would be a land, farm, and ranch specialist. I see you. Want to be you. But it's no surprise that when I moved to Florida and I knew one person in one neighborhood, but you know what I knew? I lived on the Gulf of Mexico, the #1 rated beach in the country by TripAdvisor 5 years in a row, so I immersed myself in all things short-term rentals. I didn't have any clients in Florida. I found the opportunity and the clients came to me. Study the MLS every single day. You guys, it is bewildering to me as a mentor, as a coach, how many agents do not understand how to fully use their MLS. From keywords to the auto search features. You can add additional keyword searches and really find what you need to streamline the process. That's what I'm all about. YouTube, Google, AI, social media, when used correctly, they are your best free teachers. Join your local RIA group. How many people have ever even heard of what a RIA group is? Oh, thank you. Good, we've got a couple people. Guys, joining a RIA group, the dues are like $100 to $200 for the entire year. They have one live meetup every single month, and it is one of the greatest places to collaborate. You'll find that real estate investors, much like EXP, they believe in collaboration. We try to teach each other so that people don't make the same mistakes as we made, because in real estate investing, that might make you broke. You want to network to build out your exclusive vendor tribe. The tribe has opportunities. I cannot tell y'all, my GC and my property manager, they are the eyes and ears to the streets. They know every single house that's about to come on before any realtor can sniff it out. The tribe has opportunities, and you've got to network to build your exclusive vendor tribe. You have to know your numbers. Listen, I didn't know what cash-on-cash return was or net operating income. I didn't even know what any of those terms were. I looked them up, I Googled them, I practiced them. Start by trying to analyze a long-term rental. I find it's the gateway to all investments. When in doubt, reach out. We're at EXP. Reach out to your broker, to a team lead, to an investment specialist. Phone a friend. My phone a friend is somewhere in here. Oh, there he is. Shout out to Mr. Nick Good. He's taking a photo out right now. Nick Good from the Good Home Team. He is my phone a friend. Thank you, buddy, for always being there for me. Appreciate. Nobody succeeds alone. So let's talk about house hacking, right? Because this is a super important opportunity for your buyers. Next week, you guys, Fannie Mae is about to launch a new product. 5% down on a residential multifamily. Residential multifamily is 4 units or less. 5 or more is commercial. So 5% down. So let's talk about this. House hacking is when you're going to live in one part of a dwelling and rent the rest. So if I'm gonna have a main house and I'm gonna house hack it through co-living, I'm gonna live in one bedroom and rent out the others. Easy enough. Or I'm gonna have an accessory dwelling unit, an ADU. Sometimes people call that an in-law suite. It can be attached or detached. Typically, it's seen as an extension of the main house, shares the same utilities, and we can count that rent roll. Or I'm gonna buy a duplex or maybe even a quadplex, and I'm gonna put 5% down, but I'm gonna get to use the rent roll from units 2, 3, and 4 to offset my DTI, my debt to income ratio, to help me get this house. So if you have buyers who cannot afford to buy, normalize house hacking. Why are we not talking about opportunities that everyday people can say yes to? I wish the American dream that I was taught was the one that included financial literacy. I wish when I was 18 and I inherited $100,000, I wish somebody taught me to buy a duplex instead of putting it in the stock market, which crashed a few years later and I lost it all. I wish I had passive income when I was 26 and I was diagnosed with cancer, because it certainly would have made the $200,000 in debt much easier to bear. And yet, here I stand, debt-free. Sometimes I'm cash poor, but only because I'm houses rich. And I get to drive a car that exhilarates me even when I'm not driving it. And the best part about being me is that I don't worry about my deal flow. And I don't worry about where my next client is coming from. Why? Because I know what I have to do to stay on top. I have to create opportunities every single day for people to say what to. Yes. Say it again louder. Yes. Every single day. I just have to create opportunities for my inner circle. And if you know me, you know my inner circle is a winner circle. And there is room for each and every single one of you to be a part of it. Just say yes to the opportunity. Thank you. Let me pop this back to our favorite MC.
That's okay.
Let's go!
Uh-oh. All right, there we are. Thank you. Rocked it. Woo! All right, so we got some house hackers in the house, right? We got some house hackers. Wonderful. All right, so we're gonna. Are y'all ready to celebrate? Are y'all ready to celebrate some successes? So I'll tell you one of the most incredible things, of course, that we all know about EXP is the ownership perspective, right? And raise your hand if you own stock, you own shares of EXP. Raise your hand. Look around, right? Is that not incredible? And so when we get to celebrating, we're going to celebrate rookies, we're going to celebrate icons, we're going to celebrate cappers and producers and attractors. We're going to do all of this stuff. But what I really want the mindset to be, and what we're asking is you to remember that these are your rookies, by the way. So imagine if you weren't at EXP, you were at another brokerage, it was your brokerage, you started from the ground up, and it's your brokerage, and you have a stage full of rookies that have just closed their first transaction. How excited would you be? You'd be through the moon, right? So it's going to be the same thing here. Now, open your eyes and step over and realize that you're at EXP and you own this company. So these are your rookies and your cappers and your icons that are increasing the share and the value of your company. So we're going to ask all our rookies, if you are a real estate rookie, meaning that you closed your first transaction in the last 12 months, stand up quickly. Stand up, quick. Quick, give me a shout. First rookie. Come on up, quick. Come on up here. Let's go, come on, we don't got time, let's go. Come on up. On stage. They're sitting in the back too. Let's go, we're gonna keep clapping, these are your rookies. Come on, y'all. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to need a handheld mic at some point. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell you your name, where you're from, and That was it, right? Just your name and where you're from. That's it. That's all we want to know. Your name and where you're from.
Okay,
so I'm going to get
ready?
close.
Here we go. Eric Manto, Prosper, Texas. Terry Hubbard, Euless, Texas. Spencer Ray, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Kara Law, McKinney, Texas.
McKinney.
Aiden Reed, McKinney, Texas.
Love it.
Jeannie Smith, Sanger, Texas.
Love it. You said Sanger? Sanger.
Jaden Toon, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth.
Jordan Bisbee, Frisco, Texas.
Frisco.
Anita Shams, Northlake, Texas.
From where?
Northlake.
Northlake. All right. Wonderful. Do we have the sign? Where's the sign? The rookie sign? Where's the rookie sign? That's what you call humble leadership right there. Look at that. It's the one that says rookies. It starts with the R. All right. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a picture. Okay, selling cribs. There we go. It doesn't say rookies. It was a setup. All right, in the middle. Hold on, in the middle. Let's pass it down. All right, give me a round of applause, y'all. The rookies. All right. That's it. Thanks, y'all. Congratulations. Yeah. Rookies. Let me see the sign over there on your way down. Yeah. All right. Now I can click myself back up. Okay. So, next up, we have, speaking of humble, incredible leadership, we have the one and only Brian Ellington. He is our Chief Learning Officer, y'all. And when I say that, we have humble leadership at EXP, Brian Ellington, I'll tell you, something about him. I was with him at an event, at a Zillow event, last week, I think that was, last Monday. And, I was headed back to the airport, and I was like, man, I'm going to, order this Uber, but it's going to take forever because it's Austin, right? And that's just how they all get down in Austin. But, and he said, Brian's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll drive you to the airport. So I was like, okay, cool. Again, that's humble leadership, right? I don't have to order Uber. Who doesn't want to ride with the C-suite executive to the airport? I was like, cool. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. So he opens up his car, and I get in, and I was blown away because he's listening to hip hop music, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, okay, I see you. And not just like normal hip hop music, like old school, like Houston hip hop music, like DJ Screw, and I'm like, okay, I see you. You got okay, Michael Watts and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I see you. And then he started rapping. No, he didn't start rapping. But yes, he's an ultra humble leader, and I absolutely love him to death. And he also gave us an actual bio. So you actually read the bio.
He came prepared. So I just met him actually, and we were talking, and I'm just incredibly impressed. There's amazing humans in this room. This rock star has over 20 years of coaching. He brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to EXP, and he's working on some really amazing things here in this industry. Throughout his career, he has helped numerous agents achieve incredible accolades, increase production metrics, and grow their business. We're all about production here, right?
Woo!
Awesome. Brian's impressive tenure includes notable executive roles like Chief Operating Officer, Chief Develop Officer since 2021. He also held a high position at Keller Williams, Chief Product Officer. There's a lot of C's in this. He's a rock star. Chief Operating Officer at the KW Worldwide International Franchise Division. He's also he's the Chief Learning Officer here at EXP, and he's working on some amazing things and bringing us value. His achievements earned him the distinction of winning the Training Magazine's T125 Top Training Companies Award for 4 consecutive years and introduction into the Hall of Fame. Give it up for Brian Ellington.
That's awesome. Nicole asked, what's your walkout song? I wanted to be like Jack Harlow, Lovin' on Me, but CeeLo Green is awesome. That's amazing. Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me here. Wow, I'm blushing all over from that intro. Thank you very much. So of agents, by agents, for agents, son of an agent, actually son of two. Mom spent 30 years in the residential space. Dad was a business broker for 40 years. Agent myself, also spent some time with some of those other companies that they mentioned, but I got here as soon as I can, so thanks for having me. Yeah. Most important thing that they didn't mention, husband of one, father of four. So, buddy, I got dad jokes galore, man. So I just started last month, and they were like, hey, noob, why don't you go to Dallas and talk about all of the things that we offer? I'm like, yes, let's go. So I wanted to start by just kind of mentioning a few things about us. Here we go. So cloud-based model. Hey, look, is there a little bit of turmoil today for us as realtors? Is there anybody who's nervous in this room? Because I got some good news for you. Who was here during the last Great Recession? Right. Anybody know what happened to per person productivity leading up to that? Anybody remember? We had 1.3 million realtors in this industry leading up to that. Per person productivity dipped below 4 into the 3s, right? What happened come around 2009? Ooh, it started to change, didn't it? It went back up above the 4s. Anybody know what happened come around 2018, 2019? Back down to the 3s. Pop quiz, IQ test. What do you think is about to happen to per person productivity? It's going to go up. We've got about 1.5 million realtors in this industry, and unfortunately, not all of them are like you, dedicated professionals who are here to build their skills and service their customers at the highest level. And what's about to happen to some of those folks who aren't plugged into developing themselves is they're going to go seek their professions elsewhere, but not us, right? Right. So let's talk about some of the ways that EXP is helping you get ready for the markets to come. So cloud-based model, obviously we are very nimble. We are very agile. We have a tremendous cash flow. I came from a company that had billions of dollars in debt. They were not so nimble. They did not have such great cash flow. We are well positioned for this market. Leading, training, coaching, and masterminds. So this guy, Brian Ellington, they talk about on the slide, I hear he's awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do on the training side of things. And in fact, we've already started. We just assembled a hit list. Where we're going to be building training from now on out is we're going out and we're finding the most effective people at that thing, whatever that thing is that we're creating training on. So what we're tackling first is new and unproductive agent training. So we're going out, we've assembled a list of about 1,000 agents who had deals in their first 90 days, multiple deals in their first 6 months, and a percentage above average per person productivity in their first year. In other words, rock stars who got after it quick. And what we're doing is we're going out and interviewing at least 20 to 30 of those folks and modeling out exactly what they did step by step so we can create a repeatable model for our agents to follow. And we'll be doing that same sort of methodology at every level of our business, starting with new and unproductive, going to experience, going to top agents, and even into teams to make sure that wherever you are in your career, EXP University is going to be there to help you take it to the next level, whatever your goals are. Sound cool? Awesome. On top of that, I'm working with Miss Amy Somerville on the success side of things. She will be doing whole life and non-real estate related business coaching. My team's going to be building real estate business coaching. Agents coaching agents, rockstar agents coaching soon to be rockstar agents. So more to come on that. Stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that early next year. And then the most effective compensation model in this industry. An amazing opportunity, not just for the splits, but also company ownership and rev share. Hey, fun fact, they mentioned I was chief products officer at that other company for a few years. Part of my job was overseeing profit share. It took us like 20 years to reach 100 million in profit share. It took you guys like 5 seconds to hit 500 million. Last year alone, we paid out $220 million in rev share. If you do not think that that is a real opportunity, think again. That is an amazing opportunity. Let's hit the big elephant in the room. Anybody tune in yesterday for the state of the company? Hopefully you did. Yeah, if you didn't, it's on Workplace. Go and watch it. It's an amazing thing. I want to get practical and tactical about this because we've actually lived in this world before. I mentioned the Great Recession. Those of you who sold distressed property, we understand how to handle the buy-side commission. But I want to start by saying what everybody is worried about is an injunction, right? We had this massive settlement against some of our competitors in NAR, and now they've gone after a lot more companies, us included, and we're ready for that. I don't know what you know about that case, but let me just assure you, how we do business as realtors was not represented in that courtroom, period. And we're ready for that conversation, and we're going to go have that. In the meantime, though, we as realtors just need to prepare ourselves. We just need to be ready because MLSs will be making changes. If there is an injunction, we will have to make a change pretty quickly, right? And that's going to mean a few different things, but nothing massive in the short term for how we do business. You with me? All right, so a few things. Let's talk about this. Anybody today getting buyer representation agreements? Okay, you're all doing buyer representation agreements, aren't you? It's just a lot of us wait until we are submitting the offer to then get our buyer to sign those, don't we? So all we're talking about is just having that conversation a little sooner, just to make sure that if the compensation for the buy side commission is not done on the sell side, that we're protected, right? And you just saw a lot of hands go up. Did you notice any black eyes, busted lips, stab wounds, or gunshots? They're asking for the buyer representation up front with skill and grace, and they're getting it. So like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. That's right. So let's just start practicing now at getting the buyer representation agreement instead of waiting till we absolutely have to do it to get the buyer representation agreement, right? Okay, so when we talk about this on the buy side of things, a few thoughts for you. Listing agents, where you at? Do you guys want me to start telling bad dad jokes? Listing agents, where you at? Woo! What are the 3 things you brag about at the kitchen table about yourself with your sellers? 3 metrics you brag about with your sellers, what are they? Number of listings sold, days on market, percent list to sell. How many of you brag about similar stats on the buy side? 1 person, 2 people. So here's what's going to happen if we have to move the buyer compensation to the other side of the ledger on the HUD. Now the buyer is going to have visibility, which means that we're going to have to do what? Present value to our buyers in alignment with our commissions, whatever those may be. I don't look good in orange, whatever those may be. So a few thoughts for you. What's the percent list to sell in this area? What are we in Frisco? What's the percent list to sell in Frisco? 98. How many of you in working with your buyers beat that regularly and put more cash back in their pocket? Do you know your stats? Go figure out what your buy side stats are for percent list to sell and start bragging about that with your buyers. Now, days on market, a little trickier to compare yourself to the market on that one. But here's something that I'd really recommend. How many of you hate being a taxi cab driver for your buyers? Do you know the concept of anchor pricing in negotiations? Anchor pricing is where I say, hey, I'll sell you this iPad for $1 million. Now you're orbiting around my $1 million price instead of the natural price of what this should be. So with your buyers, how many of you are setting expectations for how many homes you're going to go see before you write an offer? Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, in my experience, we should be writing an offer on the first 6 homes that we see. And if we haven't done that, it's just because I haven't done my job of really getting to know your criteria. But I am going to commit to you that I'm not going to put anything in front of you that's not going to match your criteria. So within the first 6 homes, we're writing an offer on a dream home. Sound good? What have we just done? Anchored them around how many homes we're going to sell. We're going to see together. Now, if it's not 6, if it's 3, cool, make that happen. But whatever it is, anchor them and brag about yourself and your ability as a buy-side agent. Deliver that value so that with your commission, they understand. Yeah, I'm a Seinfeld character. I'm a low talker. Thank you. I appreciate you. So that with your commission, you are worth what you charge. Make sense? On the list side, commonplace in your MLS for $1 commissions? Not yet. Well, it's very commonplace in a lot of other areas. In fact, we're going to see MLSs in some areas go to no commission listed in the MLS. And that's just going to mean with our sellers that we're really going to have to underscore with them the reasons why they would want to pay a buy-side commission. I see a lot of people shaking their head. For example, how many of you sell homes to veterans? The VA will not let us comp on the buy side of things. And if we want to keep our audience as large as possible, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we need to consider how we're going to compensate agents on the buy side of things. You get me? Also, too, we need to be talking about how buy-side commissions impact timelines, because they do, don't they? If we're not offering proper compensation relevant to the market, we're going to be impacted in getting you to where you want to go as quickly as you want to get there. So just these little subtle changes in our business, that's all we're talking about. When we're working with other agents, if there is an injunction, if there is a change in our MLS for what compensation is displayed, not happening yet, but if it does happen, we just need to adjust our conversations a little bit. Those showing conversations become a great opportunity to then agree on what compensation is going to be offered and get that documented, right? We need to be submitting the MLS listing with every offer we make so that we've documented what compensation was advertised in the MLS. Small little things. One other thing, let me give you the proper language here. If we have this change, here's an easy documentation. You got your pen handy or your iPhone or whatever. Seller to credit buyer X dollars at close of escrow to satisfy buyer's contractual agreement with buyer broker. Easy enough, right? Not complicated changes, but let's start practicing these types of things now. Good? Can you repeat that? Yeah. Seller to credit buyer X dollars at close of escrow to satisfy buyer's contractual agreement with buyer's broker. That's the contract concession. Simple thing. You see a lot of nodding heads. These are people who probably sold distressed properties back in the 2009 to 2012 range, because that was very commonplace back then. All right? Easy, small adjustments. We good on that? All right, let's go then. The largest independent brokerage on the planet, 89,000 and growing strong. We are in 24 countries. Take advantage of this. Absolutely. This should be part of your listing presentation. This should be part of your buyer consultation. Talk about the power and the leverage of EXP to make sure that they understand how many agents we're going to put their homes in front of and in how many countries they're going to have buyers seeing their properties. A few thoughts about this too. With our global expansion, our network just keeps growing. That provides a whole host of agents in other countries for you to get referrals from. We are still a very investment-rich market. Especially in China and other places in the world, they are bringing cash out of their countries to the States. Plug into this, take advantage of it. So I want to talk a little bit about this. I'm not going to go into too much details. Boost, these are opportunities for us to incentivize. We are not buying brokerages. I was part of a company that did that, not a smart business model. We are incentivizing brokers, though, to come on over. And this is for you. Make sure you understand and follow laws. We don't want to commit tortious interference. We don't want to be talking to people in franchise agreements. That is, I don't look good in orange. You won't look good in orange either. Trust me. Accelerate is for individual agents. You get the acronyms here, BAT. Individual agents, where we will help them with their rev share when they come into the company. Great opportunity for these successful agents to come in and take advantage of the reputations they've built in their local markets. Great opportunity for you to build your downline. And then newest is Thrive for teams, where we'll take a look at their past 12 months productions and offer them incentives based on that. If you want more details, please do plug into that and look at that online. How many of you, be honest, be vulnerable, how many of you are going, yeah, I don't want to be a recruiter? How many? Be honest. Yeah, I get that. And by the way, I'm not asking you to be a recruiter. This doesn't need to be something that you go out of your way. You're at the closing table regularly, right? You're talking with agents in the marketplace regularly, right? Here's a very simple formula. Very simple, conversational. And I'll just give you the formula here. Deposit, deposit, goal, pathway. Deposit, deposit, goal, pathway. Deposit sounds something like this. Hey, Tony, awesome job taking that listing on Smith Street, man. You're going to crush that. Okay, bye. Or, hey, Tony, really loved working on that deal with you, man. Anytime you want to go grab a cup of coffee, I'd love to, man. Bye. That's a deposit. At some point in the conversation, goal. Hey, Tony, I see you crushing it out here, man. 12 deals already this year and going. What's your goal, man? Where are you trying to go? Doesn't matter. By the way, if he's a $3 million producer, his goal is $6 million. If he's a $6 million producer, his goal is $12 million. And pathway. That's awesome, man. I love that. Hey, I've helped a lot of agents get there, and I obviously got there myself. If I could show you a simple pathway to get there, would that be worth a cup of coffee? And by the way, when I've taught recruiting to agents, the one thing I say is slow down. You don't need to know everything about the company, and please, dear Lord, do not try to tell them everything about the company. You're going to talk for like 3 hours, and they're going to be asleep by the time you're done. Just talk to them about what they're trying to do. And if there's things in our company, and there are, that will help them get there, just talk about that. That's all it takes, right? No heavy breathing, no sweaty palms, no begging on your knees. Just talk about what you love about the company. Guarantee you have enough of those conversations, you will build a massive, massive downline for yourself and for your family. All right, cool. EXP exclusives. So, by the way, we talked about the buy-side value proposition. You need to be plugging into this. First of all, this is part of being with us. There's no additional cost to this. There is an upgrade feature where you can tie in your MLS data to this for like $33 a month, but you don't need that to succeed. Essentially, what we are building is the world's largest exclusive database of homes, period. You hear me? That's a script, write it down. We have the world's largest database of exclusive and off-market properties. So who would be interested in this? First of all, any listing you have, get it up there. But if you have builders that you work with and the home is not yet show ready, can go in there. If you have luxury clients who don't want it up on the MLS to have any old person traipsing through their multi-million-dollar McMansion, put it on here. There's a whole host of variety of reasons why people would want their properties on here, but this is exclusive to us. Whatever happens with the MLS, cool. We're ready for it because we have tools like this. And again, sign up for this. It's free to you. It's not going to cost you anything more unless you want that upsell feature for the MLS functionality. And talk about the opportunity on the buy side of things to position your value, being able to talk to them about how you have the world's largest database of off-market and exclusive properties that no other agents in your area have. That's a great buyer value proposition, right? Plug in. All right, Revenues. We actually have a celebrity in our audience today, Mr. Mark Woodling, ladies and gentlemen, Director of Institutional Investment Services with EXP. Yeah. So one of the things not on this slide is something Mark's working on right now. I'm not going to say who, but let's just say a very large institutional investment company is about to give us 2,300 listings, 400 of them in DFW alone. Anybody want referrals? I think I just set dinner dates for you for the rest of the year, my friend. Talk to Mark at break and find out how you can get involved with that and much more. So EXP relocation express offers. If you are dealing with iBuyers in your market, we just made you an iBuyer through express offers. Right? You've got that power at your fingertips. EXP Affinity, Military Honors, and REO, we have doubled the amount of referrals we gave EXP agents in 2022 already this year. And thanks to Mark and the team there at Revenues, it's just going up and up and up. One of the things not on here as well is EXP's Bundle Select program, where we basically allow you to act like a relocation company in your local market. We have about 160 agents that have gone out and created relationships with 750 companies, some of them major national companies, where they are essentially acting like the relocation specialist for that company, and they are leveraging our network. If this is new to you, if you don't know about this, plug into it. All of you have clients that work at corporations. All of you have clients who own companies themselves. this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of EXP and get into those companies as their exclusive agent. My link, my lead. This is really cool. So this feature, I don't know if this is available in this market. Does anybody happen to know if it's available in this market? Yes. Okay. Great. We're rolling this out, and it's market by market. So what this does is allows you to give your sphere, your link, and wherever they're going to buy a home outside of your market, it allows you to create referral relationships when they find a great property. This is beyond, your listing, your lead. This is allowing you to take advantage of referral relationships with our 89,000 and growing agents in our company. Cool, right? It's very innovative. Very innovative. Speaking of innovative, who went to EXPCon? Yeah, that was a fun time. So we had great discussions about AI there. If you have not yet gone on and played with AI, holy cow, it is going to revolutionize how you do business. I talked to Carrie Sobe, you guys know her up in Canada, and I asked her, what do you use AI for? And it was everything. Her social media posts, her lead generation. There's AI that will take your long form videos and create Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube shorts for you. Let me say that again. It will create them for you. You just plug your video in and it says, here you go. Creates everything from presentations to you name it. There's a great website. There's an AIforthat.com. Go on there and play. See what AI is available out there. I played with Luna with my kids. I was trying to show them what this thing could do. And I was just joking around and I was like, well, let's see if it'll write a note so we can play hooky. And the thing came back and lectured us about how we shouldn't lie to teachers. It was like really amazing. It's very fun, but more than fun, it's very useful in our businesses. You find yourselves, and I know you do, answering the same questions over and over and over again. These tools can do a lot of that legwork for you. Speaking of doing legwork for you, our marketing package with our listing kits, it has everything you need in there for your listings, including listing presentations. And then last but not least, in these kinds of markets, I was talking with the group and they asked us, this was in Milwaukee when we did the regional rally there. They said, what do you think the most impactful part of our model was? And everybody said, the rev share, the cap model, this tool and that tool. And I said, I apologize, but I beg to differ. And selfishly, I think the coolest part of our model is the icon incentivization. I'm going to allow that. The icon incentivization for us to come back and give back to this community. If you're not aware, when you hit icon status, one of the ways in which you get your cap back as an icon agent is to give back through the university, to share back with others in this room. That kind of culture is not commonplace, believe you me. I was at another company where they didn't even want the company to be talking with the agents. The brokers set up a block in between there, and they didn't want their agents talking with other agents in other companies, other franchises. It was ridiculous. The fact that we have a luxury group, by the way, we're already at 1,100 luxury agents across the US and now in Canada and expanding across the world as well. Yeah. That program, by the way, offers you all the marketing, all the resources, but more important, it offers you that network to learn from. And that's an amazing thing. Plus, by the way, we have over 80 national and international sites that we syndicate your listings out to as one of our luxury agents. So do plug into that. Even if you're not yet a luxury agent, get involved. Learn from others of how to build that side of your business, because I know there's some beautiful properties, especially in this area. Speaking of groups commercial. So we are 700 agents and growing in all 50 states and Washington, D.C. We have mentorships. We have countless hours of trainings for commercial agents. We've recently introduced our commercial icon program. Any commercial icons in the room? Woo! Love it. So great opportunity for you to learn commercials, and we're expanding all the time. We just recently introduced brokerage services, business brokerage, and other specialties as well into the commercial space. So do plug into that. All right. So story time. Anybody know who Roger Bannister was? Yeah, who's Roger Bannister, sir? He broke the 4-minute mile. Anybody know who John Landy is? The second guy to do it. That's right. So May 1954, Roger Bannister breaks the 4-minute mile. By the way, if you're counting along at home, 3 minutes, 59 seconds. Every second counts. 42 days later, John Landy, an Australian, breaks the record. 3 minutes, 58 seconds. 42 days later. First lesson I learned from this story, whenever somebody shows you what's possible, it's not too long before it becomes commonplace. By the way, it is with regularity that high schoolers break the 4-minute miles today. Who's got the most production in the room? Who's got the most production in the room? Come on, don't be shy. Everybody's pointing at this one lady right here who's sheepishly going, no, me, shucks, oh no. How many units, man? 55 units? 55 units. Anybody beat that? Yeah? 237. Anybody beat that? We'll keep it at units, but here's the thing. 237, that's now the bar minimum for everybody in this room. Got it? No, I'm not kidding. Hey, it's possible. I mean, she looks cool, but she doesn't look like a superhero. So that's the first takeaway from the story. So here's what's interesting. So 42 days later, John Landy beats Roger Bannister's records. Now, the British have this thing called the Commonwealth Games. Whenever they conquer a country, they're like, hey, sorry we just took over, but we have this fun Olympic thing. Why don't you come be part of that? And so every few years, they do the Commonwealth Games. That same year, they were doing the Commonwealth Games in Vancouver, Canada. There were a bunch of other events, javelin, whatnot. Nobody cared. The Miracle Mile, that's what they called the mile event, the Miracle Mile, because John Landy, Roger Bannister were going to square off. And apparently it did not disappoint. Neck and neck. There were a bunch of other people running that race. Anybody know their names? Yeah. They were like also ran, like way back, right? Neck and neck the entire race until the last leg of the race, John Landy pulls ahead. And he's going to win. Near the finish, he looks over his left shoulder to see, where's Roger Bannister? Unfortunately for John Landy, Roger Bannister was passing him on his other shoulder. True story, there is a bronze statue larger than life outside of the event center where they held the games of John Landy looking this way as Roger Bannister runs this way. This would be the professional equivalent of a bronze statue of a Remax agent losing a listing agreement to you, right? Yeah. So second life lesson from this story, your goals are in front of you. No looking back. Your goals are in front of you. So third life lesson from this, that day, Roger Bannister set a new personal best. Years later, he said that he was actually going to retire after he broke the 4-minute mile until John Landy beat his record. True. Who you run with matters. The right people will push you further and faster than you ever thought possible. So thanks for running with one another, and thanks for letting me come run with you, okay?
All right, thank you so much, Brian. So, coming up next, we have, well, I'm already in the C-suite, right? I'm supposed to say there. We have an incredible gentleman coming up. His name is Mr. Dave Conord. Now, before y'all start, no, I got to do a intro for Dave, right? So, as we talked about a little bit earlier already about humble leadership, so Dave is another chief example of EXP and how important leadership is. He shot a text a little bit ago about the hotel he was staying at. Whereas most C-suite execs, like they'd be at the Omni or, these fancy hotels. The place he's staying at has wallpaper peeling off the walls, but they stapled it back up. That's okay. It's got toilet dripping and all kinds of stuff. So y'all give him a round of applause as he comes. But stick to the script, right? So as far as the intro and the bio for Dave, again, back into his humbleness and his humble leadership, it says, here is a version of my bio. I'm good with whatever, though. I'm not strict on this like some people, winky face. From salesperson to broker owner to executive leadership, Dave has been in nearly every role in the real estate industry for nearly 25 years. As president, in less than 5 years, he helped guide EXP from 10,000 agents to nearly 90,000 agents. And the number one brokerage in closed transactions in North America. He's passionate about helping people see, believe, and achieve their greatest potential. He's fanatical about systems, leverage, and hates wasted time. Dave is currently building his FYR organization at EXP and developing a pickleball business across the globe. His personal time is spent focused on his faith, his family, and his friends, and supporting our amazing servicemen and women and veterans. Will y'all give a huge round of applause for Mr. Dave Conord? We them boys. We making noise. We them boys. We making noise. We them boys. Pop a bottle. I feel like I'm in enemy territory. Is my mic on? No, it's not. You gotta click it. What's that? Switch it on. All right. There we go. Oh, hey. All right. All right. So I feel like I'm in enemy territory. You are. Right? I flew in from Philly. Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm sorry for your loss, by the way. Yeah, chasing me off the stage. You just cut my time. I'm seeing my notes. How come that just shrunk down to 2 minutes? All right, so I'm going to ask if we have any, I see some green in here. I'm going to ask if we have any brave, beautiful, and intelligent souls who will admit that they are Eagles fans. Yeah. We got anybody? We got an Eagles fan. We got Eagles fans. Hold on. You're Eagles fan? I brought this for you because I love you. There you go. A little touch of home. A little touch of home. There you go. All right. All right. Sorry, I had to do it. You know, if nobody stood up and admitted that they were a fan, I was going to give it to you to give it to your mom. Susan Frederick and I had a little friendly wager going on in that last game. Let's just say she's going to be flying to Philly to take us out to dinner. All right, let's get down to business. Guys, my goal today is to make sure that you have the best year possible for you in the year ahead as a result of being here today. How does that sound? Sound good? All right, now in order for that to happen, you guys have to lean in. Like, this isn't going to be through osmosis. You have to lean in. You have to stay engaged, right? Phones down, unless you're taking pictures and posting. Like, look at the amazing speaker we have here today. Okay, other than that, phones down, paying attention, lean in, engage, right? Need you guys to be responsive, even if I ask you to do cheesy things. Okay, everybody good with that? All right, good. Then we're going to have an awesome result out of this, because there's a ton of noise out there right now, right? It's a lot of noise, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people wondering what to do. And the key to success is often being able to filter through the noise and focus on where to put your time and your energy. Would you agree? Okay. Even here at EXP, there's a ton of opportunity. I mean, having Brian here, I'm so glad you're here. So, guys, you have no idea. He's going to be doing amazing things for us. Guys, even here at EXP, there's so much opportunity that sometimes it's just like, it's like being waterboarded, right? There's so much coming at you, and trying to divide, where do I put my time?
And I would say even there are two big buckets at EXP where you can make money: production and agent attraction, right? And there's even like a little bit of stress, right? About like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Maybe I should stop selling and just start recruiting agents, right? Because I'm seeing the life that these people are living, that, you know, building their long-term wealth. And then there's others that say, like we saw some of the hands, like, I don't want to be a recruiter, right? It's almost like Eagles and Cowboys, right? Between the agent attraction. So let's talk about where to put our energy and what to do. All right, sound good? We're going to make sense of all this, and then we're going to decide once and for all, where's the best place to put your energy in the year ahead. Is that good? All right, awesome. So I'm going to play a little devil's advocate right here. First, we're going to talk about team production. All right, who's on team production? Woo! All right, good. Team production. Guys, and I'm going to play, both sides of this, but I got to tell you, I love production. I am all about selling houses. I started off selling houses, right? And then I have spent the last 20 years teaching and coaching other people how to sell houses, right? At EXP, we sell houses, right? It's what we do. It's what we do here. We're good at it. We're selling more, we have closed more transactions than any other single brokerage in the world, right? Bam. All right, give yourselves, come on, you guys sold them. And I'm a lifelong believer in it, right? I sold and I taught other people to sell because that's what makes the world go round. So I too won an award, the Training Magazine, number 12 in the world for a curriculum that I wrote of all industries out there, but it was a real estate sales training, right? So people think I'm the growth guy, but I know sales guys, right? It's important. I believe in it, right? And rev share, there is no rev share if no houses are being sold, right? Am I right? So none of that happens. And sales success keeps you relevant in your marketplace. What kind of conversations are you having if you don't know anything about what's going on in the real estate industry? Okay. It also is the fastest path to getting paid. Your fastest path to get income is going out there and selling a house, right? And you also control the process. You're not waiting and hoping someone else closes the sale so you can make money, right? Are all those things true? Yeah, all right. So maybe I won some of you agent attraction people over to team production. Let me hear from my team production. Let me hear. Who's on team production? Woo! All right. Love you guys. Team production. All right. Keep that energy up. Keep that energy up. All right. Because now we're going to talk about attraction. Did you know that we're also the largest independent real estate company? Right? We are adding more agents than anyone out there. Now, what happens when we add a whole bunch of agents? Right? Fastest growing brokerage in the history of the industry. When you add more agents, you have more profit, right? You make more money. When you add more agents, that also means that you're doing more transactions, right? More houses are being sold when you're bringing in good agents. Now, when there are more agents all over the country and all over the world, you have the opportunity for more referrals, right? So you can sell more houses. And as this company grows from all of the agents that are here producing and our profit increases, the company pumps that money back into more tools, more training, more support, all the stuff that Brian was just talking about. We couldn't afford those things when I first got here, I can tell you that, right? I remember the first quarter that I was here, we had an amazing profit of negative $21 million. Okay, phenomenal. We weren't buying a whole lot of tools. We were doing the best we could. Everybody was wearing lots of hats. Okay, we can do so much more for everybody here to increase production and help everyone's success and to help you do your job more easily because of all the agents that are here. If we weren't adding agents, right, it would have just been, we would have been squeezing blood out of a turnip, right? Hoping the few people that we had would just sell more. Does that make sense? And I got to tell you guys, creating passive income, that's what creates leverage for you and ultimately creates freedom, right? Freedom. I always tell my agents, you do not want to be wheeled out of your last open house, toes up, okay? That's not the way you want to go. Don't work until you die. Do it as long as you love it, but don't do it until you die. Or don't do it because you have to. All right, does that make sense? Guys, are you feeling me on team attraction? Where's my team attraction out here? Let me hear you. Woo! All right. So, you guys ready? You ready? Okay, some of you are ready. Tony's ready. All right, guys. This is team production. When I raise my left hand on your right side, I want to hear all my team production. Okay? Let's practice. Because I also heard team production was our smarter group. All right, ready? Good job. All right, nice. Okay, this is team attraction. We're the better looking group. Let's give it a shot. Let's go. Oh, nice. All right. So that was loud. All right, guys. So I warned you it was going to be goofy, but I thank you for playing along with me. You guys are going to have such a great year. You're doing awesome. You're doing awesome. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Check this out. This is like if the Eagles and the Cowboys came together to create a super team. Think about it, right? America's team. The cowboy, the heart and soul of America, right? And the eagle, the symbol of American freedom and bravery, together in one. All right, maybe I've taken it too far. However, what I will tell you is production and attraction coming together gives you protraction. See what I did there? Like that? Okay, protraction. So think about it. Okay, I've put up there some of the synonyms for protraction, and I want you to think about this in terms of in my business or for my business, right? Increasing my business success, expanding my business success, prolonging my business success, extending, continuing, preserving my business success. When you bring, gotta find a sweet spot over here. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You should see me when I practice this in my house, doing laps. My dog's just wandering behind me. Okay, guys, when you bring the power of what I call the EXP trifecta together, it is something that is exponentially greater than just the sum of the two parts. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Okay? Guys, when you pull this together, you've got the trifecta. You've got commission, you've got stock, and you've got revenue share. When you have these things happening in your business and in your life, you create an opportunity that you can't find, you can't get at any other brokerage. You can't get it anywhere else. There's nothing out there that in existence. There's some copycats, there's some others, but read all the fine print, do all the different things, put all the things together and look at it. None of them work together the way ours work together. Some might go, oh, well, this one's better in this area, okay, but you got to give up this to get that. You got to do this, you get to do. Ours works together as the trifecta. All right, so let's talk about this. Sales lead to conversations with agents. Would you agree? Okay. Conversations lead to sponsorship opportunities. Agreed? All right, good. We're on the same page so far. Sales and sponsorship both lead to earning stock, right? Ooh, all right. Now we're talking. And then conversations and sponsorship, in turn, bring you back for more opportunities for sales. You see how that works? This is the trifecta. So I'm going to encourage you guys to think a little bit differently. Okay? I want you, when you're looking at your plan for this year, I want you to put it all together. Right? Put it all together. Combine the power of the Opportunity EXP. Combine that opportunity in those conversations so that you can build not only your commissions for today, but your freedom for tomorrow. All right? That sound good? All right. Awesome. Good job. Good job. So how do we increase more sales and more agent attraction? How do we do that? I want to talk to you guys about the secret sauce for your year, okay? This is how you attract more agents, attract more sales. I have never seen anybody achieve massive success without the right mindset. And I've never seen anyone achieve a massive acceleration in their success without a pivot or a change in their mindset. Okay, so I want you guys, you have to be open-minded, Everybody open-minded? Feeling good? All right? All right. I want you to be open-minded about this because I'm going to challenge some of the ways that maybe you think. All right? Here's the thing. Don't do it for you. Don't do it for you. I'm going to challenge the way that we've always thought about business planning. Anybody going through business planning clinics? Business planning classes? What's the first thing you start with? Okay, but when you go through like the process to plan your business, where do you start? Remember? Net income, right? How much do you want to make? Isn't that usually kind of the first question? How much do you want to make? How much? And then, right? And then you go through your expenses and your splits, and blah, 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 and then you come down to your GCI. All right, here's my GCI. Here's how much GCI. Then you go through your average sales price, right? Start doing some math in there, and you go through, all right, how many units do I need? Then you start going through your conversion rates, right, to figure out how many listings I have to take and how many buyer agreements I have to write. Then you're going through those conversion rates, and you figure out how many appointments you need to go on. Anybody done that exercise? All right. I'm not saying that's a bad exercise, okay? It's a good practical process to understand how conversations and to look at your conversion rates. There's a lot of things about your business that you can dissect to have a better business, to have a more impactful and a more efficient business going through that process. However, starting with how much you want to make as the driving factor makes it all about you, okay? That makes it all about you. What do I need? How much am I going to make? Now, everyone in my SOI becomes a commodity, right? What can I get out of people? Now you're the person when you walk into the room, you're scanning the room, and it's like, I don't know, was it Terminator when he had the thing in his head, right? And like, you'd have all little green things that would turn, and he would figure out who his target was, and he would know all the information about them. Okay, so you walk into a room, and you're like, hey, you know, that's someone who I think needs to sell a house, and they look like they have an expensive house, and they haven't sold a house in a while, and I haven't gotten a referral from them in a while, right? And we're scanning the audience to figure out what we can get out of them, right? And we need to flip that entire mindset and free yourself from that need. There's that desperation of like, hey, I'm doing 6 million, I want to do 12 million, right? Everyone wants to double their business. And then we start thinking about, we're worried about how we're going to go do that. So I want to free you guys from that thought process. All right? You guys still with me? Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Good, good. All right. I didn't flip my page of my notes. I haven't even been looking at my notes. Okay. Here's another popular opinion. Goal setting is for losers. Woo! Are you going to put that in the notes, Brian? Make sure it's in one of the classes. Okay. Goal setting is for losers. Now, why do I say that? You know, you guys have probably heard this. Think and Grow Rich, one of my favorite books, right? Love it. Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read it, read it. But here's one of his statements, right? One of his famous quotes. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Okay, have you heard that? Now, this is meant to be a rallying cry, right? This is meant to be something that makes you feel good, and right? This is an encouragement. Kind of like you can do whatever. If you can think of it and you believe in it, you can make it happen. Have you guys seen that kid who's on YouTube? And he's like, if you believe in it, you can do anything. Just me? Okay. Awesome. I got to expand what I'm looking at on YouTube. Guys, here's the problem with this statement. Here's the problem with this statement. You have to believe in it, and you have to be able to think of it. Our brains are very capable, but we only use a really small portion of it, right? Some more or less than others. I won't point anybody out here. All right? But guys, if it's down to what we can believe or what we know, a lot of times we only know what we've already seen, right? That was that lid on the 4-minute mile, right? That was that concept. Nobody had done it before, so everyone just kind of thought it was impossible. 1 or 2 people thought they were going to go do it, right? And because they believed it, they went and did it. And as soon as someone else saw it, all of a sudden it became, oh, we can go do that, right? The psychological lid was lifted when that happened, right? So the problem with goal setting is we set goals based on what we think is reasonable, right? What we think is reasonable, or what we believe that we could actually do, or that what we believe we actually deserve. Right? I have done a million business planning clinics, right? We go through all those processes, and people come up with their outcome. And then I watch them as they go through the stuff, and they get to the bottom, and they go, huh. Now, either the number on the bottom, like the number of appointments they have to go on, and they go, well, I've been struggling to get, 8 appointments a month, and this tells me I need to go get 8 a week. That doesn't seem very realistic. I'm going to cut down my goal just a little bit here, right? Let's do something a little bit more realistic. I'm going to go for, maybe like 2 or 3 or whatever it is a week instead. I watch people dumb down their goals because they don't believe they can happen. I've also seen it where they go through all the stuff they're going to do and everything else, and they break it down, and they look at their average sales price, and they look at what their commission's going to be that year if they achieve their goals, and it's this big number, more than they've ever made in their life, and they kind of go, they don't see themselves, they don't picture themselves living that lifestyle and having that money. They don't think they deserve it, and they don't think they can do it. That's why goal planning can suck. It's not that goal planning is bad, it's that we're bad at goal planning, okay? Because we don't believe in ourselves. So I think a better statement is what you believe determines what you can achieve, okay? How many times has something happened and you're like, I can't believe it. I can't believe that just happened, all right? Well, it obviously can happen, just your limiting beliefs got in the way. So how do we achieve unlimited thinking? How do we get there? Because it's one thing to say, you just need to have unlimited thinking. Just peel away all that stuff. What was it? It was Rick Barnes. He said you got to do a checkup from the neck up, and he said something about remove your stinking thinking, right? Remember that? So, how do we do it? It's easy to say, all right, guys, just unlimit your thinking. From now on, believe that you deserve everything and that you can do it, right? Don't set any limits on yourself. You're welcome. Have a great year. Okay, how do we do it? I want to share with you guys a couple things, okay? I want to talk about supernatural experiences, right? Supernatural experiences, and don't worry, I'm not going to get all weird on you. Supernatural experiences challenge our preconceived notions about what's possible, right? Supernatural experiences are the things when something happens, it's like jaw-dropping, right? Stunned silence. And it can be from, kind of a mundane or whatever. You see something and it's like, that was amazing. I can't believe I just saw that, right? Anybody had something like that, right? Something just crazy? Just can't believe you saw it. And I've heard of things like someone who has cancer, they've got a big tumor, cancerous tumor growing, right? And they are trying everything, and their prognosis doesn't look good. It's not looking good. Maybe the family gets together and prays over them. They go in for surgery, and the doctors can't explain it. The surgeons can't explain it. The tumor is gone, right? We've heard these stories. We know these things happen, right? And what do the doctors say? I can't explain it or believe it, right? I can't believe it. I can't believe it because it's not normal, right? Whenever we witness something that is outside of the realm of what we know, it expands our mindset, right? But you can't contract it. You can't shrink it back. Once you see something, the 4-minute mile, all of those things, once someone else achieves it, once it becomes possible in your mind, it doesn't go back, right? It's one of those things where it makes a change in the way that you see the world, right? I put on here this Mark Twain quote. I love this. It ain't what you know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so, right? That's our problem. I want to share with you guys real quick my experience, and this isn't about me, but this is a pivotal point that helped me create the unlimited thinking that changed my life, changed my business, changed my opportunity, and I hope that you guys won't have to go through what I went through to change your thinking and the way this works. This is me, all right? What you are looking at in front of you is Dave 2.0. Yeah, thank you. What you've got up on the screen is the end of Dave 1.0. Almost the end of Dave, period. That's almost it. So without going into all the crazy details, okay, I was involved in a high-speed boating accident. It was at night. We hit some rocks. I was standing up on the passenger side. Boat hit some rocks. It just came to an abrupt stop, right? Just bam. So laws of inertia were in effect. I continued to go. I was standing up on the passenger side. The door to the cabin was open, and I slammed into the door first, and I ripped open my chest. And then my head whipped forward, and my face slammed into the metal trim on top of the windshield. So 28-foot open bow Bayliner. The doctors, surgeons compared it to putting a light bulb in a sock and slamming the sock against a concrete wall. If you can imagine, that's what the inside of my head was. So I was dying, and the DNR came through. They put me on a backer board, life flighted me out of the boat, and took me to shock trauma. When my wife finally learned about what had happened and where I was at shock trauma, a friend drove her to the hospital. Now imagine, she's 27. I was 28 years old. She's 27. We've got a 9-month-old. We had just built a big 6,000 square foot house and opened up a couple of Keller Williams franchises. It's a great time. So she gets to shock trauma, and eventually one of the surgeons comes out and says, listen, he's broken his neck in a couple places. His face is crushed in. Severe blunt force trauma to the head. There's a good chance that he is paralyzed from the neck down, blind in both eyes, and brain damaged, severely brain damaged. Turns out I was only brain damaged. No, I'm just kidding. So I had to bring a little levity to the situation there, all right? I'll take you down, I'll bring you back up again. All right. So, guys, I had to learn how to walk again, right? I was out on my floor in the hospital with my walker, with all like the old people that had the hip replacement surgery, and we were like shuffling down the hall together, chatting, right? I had to go through all of those things. And, running through my head at the time was, what is life going to be like, right? It took me years to fully recover from this. I had lots of repeat surgeries and other things like that. So my forehead, the bridge of my nose, my eye socket, my cheekbone, and a lot of my jaw up here, they're all titanium. Okay? This is a fake eye. A lot of people don't know that about me. This is a piece of hand-painted acrylic. Okay? The process for making it is fascinating. It's really amazing. I was 28 when this happened. So when you're going through all of those things and you don't know what your future holds, I mean, we just franchises are expensive, right? The amount of money you got to put in the bank and the other stuff you got to do and the furniture you got to buy and the computers, and back then, right, bricks and mortar. We put out a lot of money, and like I said, we just built a house, just had a baby. My wife wasn't working, and meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how to piece my life back together again and what it's going to look like. I had to make the decision whether or not they take my eye out and stuff. I mean, there's crazy stuff you go through during all this time, and you don't know what your life is going to be like. You don't know where it's going to go. It was a fascinating time. I'll tell you that. But what I will tell you is, you begin to see life differently, because every single surgeon, nurse, doctor, somebody's phone's ringing. Every single doctor, nurse, surgeon that came into my room, they would walk in, they pick up your chart before they come talk to you, and they kind of pick up your chart, and they hold on. They start calling people, all right? And they come in and say, Mr. Conord, do you understand? We have never, and I was at Hopkins, guys. This wasn't like, some fly-by-night hospital or whatever. These are the best of the best in the world. And they're telling me, we have never seen anyone sustain injuries like this and live, right? We've never seen anyone sustain injuries like this and live, and you're going to walk out of here and go home with your family and go home and see your kid, right? Guys, that difference, the change in my mindset at that time, right, was profound, because I'm a goal-driven person, right? I go after it. I've always been like that. But suddenly all the goals that I had put out there for myself and where I wanted to go seemed really hollow. It's not that they were bad things, and it's not that I still didn't want them, but those things, that being my driving force, that being what was pushing me forward, suddenly just by itself didn't matter anymore. And so when I went back, the focus was just on who can I help? Who can I help? And it wasn't on me and what I could do and what I could achieve and what it would get me and the money and all that other kind of stuff. I just focused on, it was like Scrooge on Christmas morning in the Christmas Carol, right? I'm running around buying all the turkeys and all the other stuff. I was so excited to be alive that I could help other people, that was my focus. So I'll get that off the screen for you. So that was my focus. My focus became, how do I help other people succeed? Okay, so I want you guys just think on this, because I don't want you to have to get hit by a boat to have to get the outcome that I got. All right, I avoid that step. Trust me. All right. So even though I was a results through others kind of a person, right? I wouldn't think of myself necessarily as being like a greedy person or whatever, but it was just like it was results through others. But the mindset was, I knew I needed other people to help me succeed. Nobody succeeds alone. Right? So that was my mindset. Nobody succeeds alone. I know I need to be surrounded with other good people so they could help me succeed. Right? That was the mindset. Now all of a sudden the mindset was, who can I help succeed? Who am I that person in their life to help, and how can I do it? And then I started looking at how can I be better at helping people succeed. And so there was that shift in the mindset, right? And what happened was the coolest thing. When I started focusing on helping other people succeed, when my focus was just purely on who can I help succeed, I started looking at every day, wake up. Who am I going to help win today? Who am I going to help win today? Who am I going to help succeed? You walk around with your head up and your eyes open, right? You go to the grocery store. I'm not doing this, looking in my cart. I'm looking around. Can I help someone? Someone's struggling to reach a thing up in the aisle. I'm running over to help them. It's just like all day long. Who do I help? How do I help people? What happened was the people, when I was focused on helping people win, guess what was happening to the people in my circle? What do you think? They were winning. The people in my circle were winning. Do you know what the most attractive thing out there is? Right. People want to be around people who are winning. Do you guys remember when Harry Met Sally? Right? I may date myself with this too. Okay. Do you remember the I'll have what she's having scene? Right? If you've seen the movie, you know that scene. Right? I'll have what she's having. People look over and go, that looks good. I want that. So when you are helping people win and your circle is winning, people want to be in your circle. So now my phone was ringing like crazy with people who wanted me to help them win. I'm noticing everyone over there is winning. Or people were asking the people in my circle, what the heck happened to you? You are killing it. And they're like, I've been working with Dave. Can I work with Dave? I don't know. Call Dave. All right? And I was like, yes, you can work with me. Right? Bam! It took off. Right? We ended up I was partners in 11 franchises. Right? I was asked to take over a region. We have 42 franchises. Okay? We turned that around from over 2,000 agents to over 7,000 agents in 3 years in that region. It became the #1 region in growth. I sat down with the team leaders and said, just help people succeed. Forget all the other stuff. Do the two. Forget all the other stuff. It wasn't popular with John, but that was okay. Forget all those things. Guys, just focus on helping people win. And it's amazing how that happens. Now, you've heard it said all the time, right? You're on the airplane. If the masks drop down, what do they tell you to do? Put yours on first, right? Put yours on first. I call bullshit on that. All right? I call bullshit on that. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if I'm flying with my wife and my kids and something happens with the plane and those masks pop down, I am absolutely making sure my wife and kids have their masks on before I even think about fumbling with my own mask. All right? So, man, I got to tell you, if you care about the people around you, help them win. Help them win. Focus on making sure that they are taken care of. If you're always thinking about yourself and worried about yourself, the other stuff doesn't happen. Or if it does, it's a lot harder. But if you help other people win, you will be fine. I promise you. Right? This applies to growing your real estate sales business. This applies to attracting agents. If people are winning in your circle, everybody wants to be in your circle. And if you find other people who are like-minded, you combine your circles together, it becomes super powerful. This is a big deal. Guys, this is EXP. People want to copy us and do whatever. I don't care if someone Xerox copies everything about EXP, okay? A Xerox copy does not copy heart and soul, okay? It doesn't copy the people. Man, when I first came to EXP, I sat down with Glenn, and I wanted to understand, because my job, he's the visionary. This is his vision, right? I sat down with Glenn. My job was to help implement his vision and help bring it to life. And so I wanted to really understand it. And he talked about it, right? What does Glenn always say? He wants the agent proposition, the opportunity at EXP to be so good that it would be irresponsible for an agent to hang their license anywhere else. Right? Yeah. Woo! Out of that, I created that hashtag, right? Agent Success Obsessed. And that has been our rallying cry, on the staff teams, because it is like we are absolutely obsessed with helping agents win. And when we create an environment where agents win, do you know what happened? We win, baby. We became the fastest growing real estate brokerage in the history of the industry. Okay? Because it's super attractive. People want to be here. Agents want to be here. Do you know other companies have hundreds or thousands of paid and trained professional recruiters on staff? And all they do all day is cold calls, appointments, everything else like that, and send out the marketing and do everything else to recruit. And we are crushing them with 0 paid staff members recruiting. We don't have any recruiters on staff, right? It is agent word of mouth. We're by referral only, right? It is through what you guys spreading the word. That's why Glenn focuses, and we all focus so much on NPS, that Net Promoter Score, because if we're helping you win, then you're going to talk about it, and people are going to see it, and they're going to want to be here. Okay? Serving others creates a supernatural experience. Okay? You get that? All right. So I want you, we're going to sum up here. I want you to use the power of protraction. Okay? Use the power of protraction to create your trifecta. Okay? Using unlimited thinking by helping others win first. Okay? You see how it comes together? See how it comes together? Guys, this is where I want you to pivot. I want you to walk out of here today looking for who you can help win. Go help people win. Look at your entire database. Now with your database, when you look at your database, don't look at your database and say, which of these people will buy a house with me, sell a house with me, or refer me another client. Look at your database and say, what kind of help do they need? How do I help this individual win? Okay? It may have nothing to do with real estate sales. It may or may not. It doesn't matter. How do you help them win? Help people win, and it will come back to you. And it will come back to you in a way you have never seen before in your business. I promise you. Sound good? Are you guys ready to get out there and do it? All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, Dave Conord, ladies and gentlemen. 2.0, Dave Conord 2.0. All right, so it is almost time to break for lunch. Actually, we're not breaking for lunch. We're kind of breaking for lunch. All right, stay flexible. We love EXP, right? Because we are agile. I heard it. It's in our bylaws. All right, so what's going to happen with lunch is that our staff and the volunteers, like Bettina over there. Hey, everybody say, hey, Bettina. All right, so our volunteers, incredible volunteers, are going to be releasing folks one table at a time to go over there and grab your chow, meet with our awesome sponsors. Can we get a round of applause again for our sponsors that paid for lunch? Yeah. There you go. There you go. They pay the bills.
Whoever's in charge of the slides, can we go back one to the QR code?
I'm in charge of this slide.
Oh, rockstar. Tony.
This one?
The QR code.
Okay, yes, I'm getting there.
Oh,
I'm getting there.
okay.
Wait, where is it? Oh, it's not in there. It's not in there anymore. Okay. All right. So while we are breaking for lunch, or those folks are breaking for lunch, we also have a QR code, right? So if you remember when we talked at the very beginning about your questions, all right? So next up after lunch or after we celebrate our producers, we're going to have our Q&A panel. We're going to have Dave. You can ask him about his reconstruction and all that stuff, whatever you want to ask him about, right? He's there. We also got Brian's going to be on the panel. We also have icons. There are icons that have spoken. And we will have, who else? Staff, Karen Richards, y'all's broker.
I'll be in there.
We're going to have an amazing panel. So get your questions up there. Ask any questions you want. Scan that. Drop your questions in there, okay, as you're being released. All right?
Have fun, mix and mingle. I'll see you back here at 12:20 so we can honor our producers. See you soon.
I ain't from Dallas, but I need town boogie. I ain't from Dallas, but I need town boogie. You just do you, and I'ma do it all day. Dudes love to hate, so they try to shoot me. I make the party shine bright when it started blooming. I make the party shine bright. Word. I make the party shine bright when it started blooming. This beat was bubble gum, so I had to chew it.
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my thuggy.
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my
The
thuggy.
name is John. For them dudes who don't know me, I know I'm from the west, but I can teach you how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. The boy dancing, none of them know me. I hear the squash feel like, hey, get it, Brody. So I move my shoulders and I take it real low. They like how we do that, we can Dougie on the floor. And when the boys stop, they like Dougie Smo. I'm like the boy, kinda tired, and I pass it to the bro and bro. Show these cats how to do that. Down south bitch that we learned a little too fast and brought it to the lady. Got the whole cool cat. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my thuggy.
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my thuggy.
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my thuggy.
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my thuggy.
I don't need no label. Congratulations, no more expectations. Don't get down the phone. I've been riding solo, so congratulations. I've been diving off the deep end, drinking every weekend, just because I'm into every season. I think it's all in my head. Is this an easy mistake? Coming off a heartbreak, take some time alone, it's what they all say. Cliche, it's all for the best. I've been trying to find new addiction. Understood it's you out my system, but nothing is like you did. I don't know if I miss you or if I'm no good at being lonely. I don't know if I want you or just want somebody to hold me. Just spin around, I gotta be better off by now. I don't know if I miss you or if I'm no good at being lonely. If I'm no good at being lonely. If I'm no good at being lonely. I'm no good at being home by myself on a Sunday night. And then so much without an appetite. Wondering if you're still missing me. But then see you with self-help books and nicotine. Tried alcohol and therapy to get you off my mind, but nothing helps. Oh, I don't know if I miss you or if I'm no good at being lonely. I don't know if I want you or just want somebody to hold me. Yeah, it's been a while, I've been sleeping around. I gotta be better off by now. I don't know if I miss you or if I'm no good at being lonely. 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 I open up that door, see your brown eyes at the entrance. You just wanna talk, I can't turn away. But please don't ruin this for me. Please don't make it harder than it already is. I'm trying to get over. I wish you would stay in my memories. But you show up today just to ruin things. I wanna put you in the past, cause I'm traumatized. But you're not letting me do that. can say goodbye. If you stay here the whole night, you see it's hard to find an end to something that you keep beginning over and over again. I promise that the ending always stays the same, so there's no good reason to make believing that we could ever exist again. I can't be your friend, can't be your lover, can't be the reason we hold back each other from falling in love. Somebody out there in me